Every decade, we used to have revolutions in the recording industry and production techniques. I mean, back when it was a real business with publishing, with music production, the RIAA, ASCAP, BMI. You know, during after I think somewhere in the 1950s, yeah, somewhere right around there, we figured out what tube compression was, and it was a sound anomaly that if you overloaded a vacuum tube enough, saturated it with enough sound, you would and you put the sounds through an oscilloscope and you used your ears to listen to it, you would see that the sawtooth waveform was starting to become a square waveform, and things were starting to get what they call peak limited, a sound wall. Whereas, like anything past a certain decibel specification will bounce back, and all your peaks will be squashed flatline, and all your valleys will be pumped up to a flatline response, therefore giving you a radio sound. You know that sound on the radio where that's why compression is so was so used. I mean, that's why people go to their cars to listen to. Me, when I used to listen to mixes, I used to take a radio transmitter and put it through the DAT machine and set it to broadcast on left of the dial, something as low as I can go to 88.3. Go out into the car, turn on the car radio, and listen to our mix on loop through the DAT machine in a basement that's transmitting out to a parked car in the driveway. So we would know ahead of time what our mixes would sound like. People loved it. It is it's a comfortable sound. People like it when they're driving because it's a consistent sound, that will contend with the mechanical noise of your car, traffic noise, conversation, and you don't have to struggle to listen to it. It causes ear fatigue after a while, after extended. But as time went on, they found out how to get great gentle compressors. By the time the Beatles were going, it was all about compression. They didn't even use headphones in the studio to do vocal overdubs. They just sang with a big speaker in the room and overdubbed it. And every time they'd stop singing, the compressor would swell, and it would suck the sound back up from the external speaker in the room. And people got really used to that. And after a while, everything got so compressed, according to some people, that it all sounded like a blare. So around the time 1970 rolled in, we were into a whole different fucking bag. We started using the sound of dynamic expansion. An expander does the opposite of a compressor. It'll take it'll take subtle signals and frequencies and pump them up, and it will makes it creates dynamic headroom in a stereo field. Gentle taps on a snare drum become loud. Loud ones get squashed back down to where they should be. All about dynamics. The expander, everything was dry. We stopped using reverb tanks, reverb plates, digital, reverb imaging. Analog echo was used less. Analog slapback, we even started muffling the instruments by putting felt or a sponge underneath the bass strings, so you get a real staccato, doom doom doom, 8, 16, 30-second notes, and drummers started using calf skin drum heads that were muffled, doom doom doom. It was all about that. It was about making a clean, quiet, dynamic recording. We went back to those days. Then it altered the whole synthesis of the sound when you mixed everything through so much dynamic expansion. And around that time, we started to get smart smart noise gates that would hard eliminate a signal if it reached a certain decibel specification. As time went on, we had the noise gate was great. I mean, it made the most quiet recordings. When a channel wasn't active, it was automatically muted. These smart, sensitive sound traps that would open up a channel only when it detected the slightest bit of noise, and they would close. That's a lot. Has a lot. You know, Motown Tamla used that a lot. Like my favorite record the past couple of months, again, all through the years I've been listening to over 30 years, is the Tower of Power record. That's a good example of like what we were trying to do. As freaky as you would get is you probably have some tape flange or tape flang on the horn section, which I can't stand. And maybe you'd hear a phaser or something really out of date effects that you don't hear anymore. I mean, nobody plays guitar anymore, but if they did, they wouldn't be using a phaser. It's just it's a forgotten effect, you know. And so is tape flang and flange. We loved our expansion so much. We started using drum machines and sequencers because it's so quiet yet so loud. And then we figured out how to alter the tail of a reverb signal by putting a noise gate in front of the reverb plate and one in back of it. And so you get gated reverb, that 1980s, that shit. And we love that. Everybody had to have that gravy and cheddar sauce all over your recording. Oh, give me that noise gate. Give me that reverb gate. On the toms and shit. Yeah, man. They love that. Let's stack fucking expanders and get noise gates and put them in front of effects. We love that. That's what it was all about. That's what Hitsville was about when it, well, you know, as a predecessor to later day Motown Tamla shit. But that's what they were trying to do too. You know, they loved their reverbs and shit, but they since did away with that. While the Jackson 5 was going, it was all about that. These dynamic, quiet recordings with no imaging, no echo, not necessary. Michael was trained from an early age to do that, to go out there and straight up kick ass. He didn't even know what he was missing, or he didn't even know what he was fucking with. He was trained from such an early age to go out there and light it on fire like Pepsi, and and just kill it. You know, Michael didn't have a prayer. He would never have existed in the real world. His father was a brutal pimp of a man, and the ass beatings would begin if one of them fucked up their steps or fucked up a note. Michael did his best to stay on top of that and try to get his father's amour through through perfection, absolute fucking perfection. Little 5-year-old Jackson, he doesn't even understand money. He doesn't understand Joe Jackson is lending the children out to these pretty much these white dudes that just want to penetrate black anus till the day is long. And Michael didn't complain about it. That's all he knew. Of course, he's in fucking Neverland. He was born in Neverland. I mean, that's not. But I mean, Joe did look after them. He would never have survived in the real world. He would have get ripped to fucking pieces, wouldn't he? But Michael had a killer competitive streak that was unparalleled. But you listen to these Jackson 5 recordings, they're impeccable and gorgeous. If you go down, if you've ever heard the submixes and mod files from the Jackson 5, it's delicious. You got a hard pan funk guitar doing in the left speaker, and then you got on the in the right speaker you got another guitar hard pan just doing accents, jing 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 jing, and it's like, wow, holy shit, this is beautiful. The drums are all muffled. Uh, the bass lines are just absolutely so melodic and so fucking beautiful. White people didn't stand a chance against the absolute mega force of these soul these black motherfucking studio musicians that were drenched in fucking soul. And that's what they did. They made these extremely dry recordings. You know, multi-layered vocals, stereo imaged on both sides, with just the expander going at all times. These clean records you could put on your turntable. Oh, Michael, I mean, this is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But trying to battle Michael back then was hazardous to your fucking health because, I mean, he could back it up. If there wasn't a drum machine in the room, he'd start straight up beatboxing and another demonic voice would come out as he was doing that and he'd sing the lead and he'd get up from the court stand and be like, "Do you want me to moonwalk while I'm doing this to prove this song is mine?" And you're like, there's three voices coming out of him. He's moonwalking all over the courtroom. You know, Tommy Mottola or whoever's trying to get his rights from him. Michael not giving that up. It's like a pit bull with with a fat steak in his mouth. Michael's not giving it up. That's my song. He'll get up and show you every step of the way. To be so fucking removed and so spoiled and so, I think it's great actually. I mean, I'm fascinated with the motherfucker actually. I mean, to be so, I can't sleep unless it's in an oxygen tent. I can't sleep unless I get put into a fucking a coma. You know, I need propofol to sleep. It's like most people take a Valium or maybe a Xanax or something or some kind of sleep aid. Not him. I need some shit to stop my heart and stop my brain and put me into a medical coma while I'm in the oxygen tank. I got to get up for work tomorrow. I got to start that tour. Michael had the work ethic of an Iraqi, and he was vigilant about it. And he liked what he did. You know, of course he's going to have unique taste. He got hand washed and hand hand fiddled with by a bunch of old white motherfuckers at a young age. He didn't know any better. Michael was paranoid. I loved it. Just like a good musician should be. What's he doing? What's she doing? What are they gonna do? Tell him to forget it because my record's coming out. We could fucking forget it. That was the voice inside him. Yeah, but Michael was loving it. If I was him, I would have told all my brothers, "You can all kiss my ass and forget it. I'm not taking you on a tour. You're not getting solo fucking records. If anyone's gonna get one, it's gonna be fucking me. I'm the motherfucker. I always was. I always will be. None of you love Daddy enough to 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 please him like I did. I went out of my way. You know." Janet's the most. I say again is the most reward is the most redeemable one though in my eyes because she had to fight 10 brothers and the fucking music industry and come out with some fucking good shit and look hot doing it and tried to clean up his image. She's like, yeah, I look a little bit like my brother, and my brother looks a lot like Diana Ross, but you know, I'm high and I got this night, and yeah, she was great and she made beautiful music. She didn't know how gifted she was, Janet. Her voice was something else. When I think of my youth, I really don't think of Michael Jackson. I grew up with Michael Jackson in my fucking face my whole life till I was 20 something near 30 something years old. But when it's odd because when I think back in my youth, all I hear is Janet Jackson every year. I'm thinking, okay, sixth grade. I'm in sixth grade now. What do I hear? Or, no, I'm in fifth grade. What do I hear? I'm in sixth grade now. I'm in seventh grade. I'm in eighth grade. I'm just starting high school now, and I can attribute it each year of my life to Janet Jackson, and she was so she appealed to everyone, white, black, male, female. I used to call Michael a baby eater because that's what he is. He had a demonic thread running through him that nobody ever seems to want to talk about. They think he's so funny, but when I see him, I see a demon. I'm like, that man was possessed and taken. There was something going on in him. We all know it was not right, but I think it's deeper than that. I think he was a behemoth of evil deep inside that little frame and that little voice. Nobody appreciates the way you use Michael to get a lame ass statement off. Yeah, Mike, he had a little bit of ruthless gangster in him too. Ruthless. I mean, he gets they do say and yeah, he does say with Paul McCartney, which turned out nice. And McCartney's telling him, yeah, you know, I've always been inspired by Buddy Holly. Me and Lennon, we loved him growing up. Buddy, he was a big part of what we do. You know, and so I went ahead and I'm into publishing now, and I went and I bought Buddy's rights for music to use, you know, and for however I choose to, you know, for commercials, for whatever, to put out releases. But Buddy's dead, and Michael's like, "That's a good idea," and I think I'm going to buy yours. And Paul's like, "You're gonna buy my rights to Beatles?" No, you're not. You're crazy. That's crazy. That's funny. You're crazy. And sure enough, he did. McCartney's still alive. Why would you do that? ruthless gangster. It was probably the first time in McCartney's life where he actually thought about deleting the motherfucker. He's like, I wonder if I send some Indian motherfuckers over to take care of this problem. I want my rights back. I think he got them back eventually, but that's rotten. That's like someone buying your children right in front of you. Just like Brian Wilson's father did to Brian. Well, I sold your Sea of Tunes. Dad, you sold my fucking, it's $70 million and it's only fucking 1968. Yep. And I sold them at a crazy Eddie bargain basement fucking price. I'm going on vacation, getting remarried. I'll see you, Brian. Good luck with that music thing. That's what crippled Wilson. Yeah, that's like selling your children. You can't take these. This is my daughter. These are my babies. They're going far away. Yep. You wait till the motherfucker's dead to do that. Yeah, you don't know anything about being, you know, you don't know anything about that. You know about typing.